धनराज
सर नमस्कार.
हो नमस्कार नमस्कार. छप्पन झाले. लाईव्ह झालं असेल तर मग बंद करतो बोलणं.
सर नमस्कार.
हो नमस्कार नमस्कार.
Patil madam, good morning.
Very good.
लाईव्ह झालं असेल तर
Very good morning.
Welcome.
Thank
Patil
you
madam.
for acknowledging my presence. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Or everybody, very good.
Madam, namaskar.
Hearty welcome. Hearty welcome, madam.
Patil madam,
Yeah.
namaskar.
Yes, thank
पाटील
you.
मॅडम नमस्कार. नमस्कार पाटील मॅडम.
Madam, namaskar.
Good morning.
कैसे है पाटिल मैडम?
Good morning.
बस जब तक मरते नहीं तब तक जिंदा है. Thank you for acknowledging my presence. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Or everybody, very good.
Madam, namaskar.
Hearty welcome. Hearty welcome, madam.
Thank you. Thank you.
कोई तो भी पैरेलल में चल रहा है क्या? वो डबल आवाज सुनाई दे रहा है. एक्चुअल प्रेजेंटेशन में गड़बड़ हो सकता है. कोई तो भी दो डिवाइस पास में है. यूट्यूब बोलो या लैग आ रहा है.
दोनों शुरू किया हूँ सर, इसलिए वो आवाज आ रहा है.
नहीं, एक ही रूम में होंगे तो उनको अलग अलग करवा लीजिए ना.
सर नहीं यूट्यूब का था, यही पे यही डिवाइस पे अपना ही, इसलिए आवाज आ रहा था.
छेड़कर सर यूट्यूब वाला डिवाइस दूर रखो.
लांजवार सर नमस्कार.
हो सर, केला सर.
अखिलेश सर.
हाँ मॅडम. येस मॅडम बोलिए.
हळू नमस्कार घ्या लागते नाही. ही इज बीइंग वेरी सॉफ्ट ना. ऐसा उनसे सीख रही हूँ मैं. हळू बोलायचं, हळू घ्यायचं. बरोबर है सर?
मैम सब आपके लोगों के सामने ये सब नाइक सर, टाले सर, धनराज, इनके सामने क्या तुर्रमगिरी बताएंगे मैम.
देखो नाइक सर क्या बोल रहे हो. आपके लाल जैकेट का, जवाहर जैकेट का कमाल है सर.
सुनना पड़ेगा मैडम. क्या करते, तबीयत खराब है अपनी तो अपन क्या कर सकते.
क्या हुआ सर तबीयत को?
2-3 दिन से जरा ये प्रॉब्लम चल रहे थे. स्टमक अपसेट और टेम्परेचर था. तो आज अभी मैंने नईम को बता दिया था कि अगर मेरा नहीं जमा तो कर लेना. वेलकम.
ये वेट रिडक्शन वाला फंडा तो नहीं है? टाले साहब बोल रहे थे अरे वो कुछ कर रहा होगा बोले.
सही में हो सकता.
अरे बंडू तो ज्यादा ही मेंटेन करता है.
अरे भैया, आप बड़े लोगों के सामने अपना वेट है ही क्या.
अरे बहुत ही ज्यादा ये रहता, सेंसिटिव रहता खाना खाने या जो भी प्रिकॉशन लेने हैं वो बहुत. कल हमने अखिल और मैंने बात की. बंडू आजकल ज्यादा ही सतर्क है. हाँ,
गणेशोत्सव में खाना ज्यादा खा लिए.
अखिल.
हाँ
सुन रहे बाबा, प्रवचन सुन.
चलो 10:59 हो गए, रेडी हो जाएंगे.
महिला महाविद्यालय से
सर 11 बजे चालू करना है ना सर.
चलो 10:59 हो गए, रेडी हो जाएंगे.
हाँ.
Shall we start, sir?
Yes.
A very pleasant morning to one and all who have converged virtually on the 6th day of 8-day online national level
Faculty Development-cum-Orientation Program on Assessment and Accreditation Process of NAAC, jointly organized by the Internal Quality Assurance Cell of Santaji Mahavidyalaya, Nagpur, J.M. Patel Arts, Commerce, Science College, Bhandara, Dharampeth MP Dev Memorial Science College, Nagpur, Mahila Mahavidyalaya, Nagpur, Yashoda Girls Arts and Commerce College, Nagpur, Barrister Sheshrao Wankhede College of Arts and Commerce, Khaparkheda, and Dr. M.K. Umathe College, Nagpur. I, Dr. Vaishali Meshram, Assistant Professor of English at Dr. M.K. Umathe College, Nagpur, feel honored to be a host for today's proceedings. Our esteemed patrons, honorable principals of collaborating institutions, respected organizing secretaries, technical staff, today's erudite speaker, distinguished IQAC coordinators, and all the learned participants, I feel privileged today to welcome you all to this 2 hours knowledge fest. Ladies and gentlemen, governance and management are the backbone of the institution. Having well-structured governing body, supportive management, and able leadership helps to find and address gaps in practices and efficiently implement proper counter mechanisms on time. The quality and future of the institution depends on it. The prime agenda of NAAC is to assess and accredit institutions of higher learning with all objective of helping them to work continuously to improve the quality of education. The British writer, philosopher, and art critic John Ruskin has rightly said, quality is never an accident. It is always a result of high intention, sincere efforts, intelligent direction, and skillful execution. The concept of quality has been migrated from manufacturing strategy to the service section. Interestingly, in service sector, demand of quality and excellence is being increased substantially. The term excellence has been used extensively by accreditors to define the level of quality processes and services offered by institutions for the stakeholders' satisfaction and success of students. It is said that all-inclusive, good quality education is a foundation for dynamic and equitable societies. So this FDP-cum-Orientation program has been organized to accentuate on a very crucial topic which concerns us all. Ladies and gentlemen, without much ado, let us all embark on this knowledge expedition where our expert navigator will take us through all 5 key indicators of the 6th criterion in detail, and by the time we disembark, we shall undoubtedly find ourselves richer in knowledge and understanding of these aspects of NAAC. I once again welcome you all to this knowledge expedition. To begin with, I now call upon an exceptional administrator, a proactive and dynamic principal of our institution, Honorable Dr. D.V. Naik, sir, to deliver his welcome speech. Dr. D.V. Naik, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Vaishali. Good morning, friends. I welcome the principal and the IQAC coordinators of the 7 collaborative colleges who have jointly organized this 8-day national level faculty development program. I also welcome Principal Dr. Akhilesh Peshwe, Principal Dr. Vikas Dhumne, Principal Dr. Ramkrishna Tale, Principal Dr. Priya Vanzari Madam, Principal Dr. Vandana Bhagdikar Madam, Principal Dr. D.B. Shetty sir, all the IQAC coordinator and other faculty members of the colleges who have participating in this LTP. I also welcome the speaker of today, Dr. Jyoti Patil Madam, and all the participants. After successfully and comprehensively dealing with the 5 criteria during the last 5 days, with the help and guidance of the respective expert speakers, it is now time to learn about and understand the 6 criteria, that is governance, leadership, and management. Each of the 7 criteria designed by NAAC deals with specific aspects of the functioning of the higher education institution, as it is obviously by name given to each criteria. The sixth criteria assumes more importance as it directly impacts the performance of higher education institutions in the other six criteria. Effective governance, able leadership, and proper management of affairs ensure that the higher education institutions excel in the other six criteria. To help us and understand this criteria, we have with us today an eminent speaker. I extend a warm welcome to our expert speaker, Dr. Jyoti Patil, an efficient administrator and a proper leader. And I once again welcome you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an exuberant, erudite, multifaceted, versatile, and outstanding orator amongst us today. She is none other than Dr. Jyoti Patil, Madam. It is indeed an honor and great privilege to welcome and introduce this distinguished resource person for the day, Dr. Jyoti Patil. She is a lady with extraordinary scholarship, a poetic genius, a great academician, an outstanding writer, and an administrator par excellence with almost 33 years of teaching and administrative experience. At present, she is serving as a principal at Renuka College, Besa, Nagpur. Under her the inspiring leadership of this dynamic principal, the college has witnessed an unprecedented growth and development in all aspects. Madam Patil has been awarded D.Lit honors by Inox International University. She is a trained Infosys faculty for Global Language Enhancement Program for training the trainers. She is also a trained NAAC assessor of National Assessment and Accreditation Council, Bengaluru. She is an expert and external examiner for PhD in 5 universities. She has been invited as a keynote speaker, plenary speaker, and chairperson at various national and international conferences. She has been acknowledged with many awards and honors for her tireless services. Dr. Patil Madam's achievements and extraordinary work reminded me of a few beautiful lines from the poem of William Ross Wallace. He says, "Blessing on the guard of woman, angels guard her strength and grace, in the cottage, palace, hovel, oh, no matter where the place. Would that never storms assailed it, rainbows ever gently curled, for the hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world." We are extremely delighted to have you here with us, Madam. I accord an affable welcome to you, ma'am. Without further ado, with great pleasure, I now invite today's resource person, Dr. Jyoti Patil, Madam, to share her expertise and insights with us. She will be dealing the Criterion 6th, Government, Leadership and Management. Dr. Jyoti Patil, over to you, Madam.
Thank you, Vaishali, Madam. You have done it. You have given a very elaborative and impressive introduction of mine. Very good and pleasant good morning to all the virtual participants who have joined and those who will watch it later on YouTube or now watching in this national level faculty development-cum-orientation program on assessment and accreditation process of NAAC from 20 September to 27th September. It's co-organized by IQACs of a consortium of 7 colleges of RTM Nagpur University. Greetings to all my principal friends who are present virtually here. Yes, I'm really honored. IQAC coordinators of respective colleges. Thank you, Principal D.V. Naik, sir, for making an impressive and introductory remark that has made my task easier and smoother to sail through the difficult terrain of quality juggernaut. When we make decisions together, the commitment to one another is greater and thus increases our commitment to achieve the decided goals. Together we grow, and together we can. Please permit me to share my PPT to start my talk on Criterion 6th, that is NAAC's revised framework. Criterion 6 is governance, leadership, and management. I hope my screen is visible. I have two requests to make. One is that please see that all the mics are mute, all the speakers are mute, and then secondly, I request that if there are any hitches, because the electricity and even the connectivity is playing truant here. So if it all happens, just remind me whether I'm audible or with my PPT is visible. Thank you. So now the title slide is visible. Alvin Toffler in his book Future Shock has rightly pointed out, if you do not have a strategy, you will be a part of someone else's strategy. Toffler published his book Future Shock, in which he divided the human race development into 3 civilization waves. The first wave, agrarian revolution; the second wave, industrial revolution; the third wave, information revolution or information age. Now we talk about the fourth wave, 4.0 industry, that is intelligent industrial revolution. That is automation, real-time data, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. Alvin Toffler has also added here, the illiterate of 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. And it is said that people's participation is the essence of good governance. Governance and leadership plays a very, very important and crucial role in the quality culture of the HEI, on which NAAC has put a special emphasis. Yes, you can say this is all you already know. Arthur C. Clarke has remarked here that 2 possibilities exist. Either we are alone in the universe or we are not. Both are equally terrifying. And here we have 2 choices, qualitative metrics and quantitative metrics, and both are equally challenging. The criteria-based assessment forms the backbone of A&A process of NAAC. The 7 criteria represent the core functions and activities of an HEI. Let me tell you, when you fill your SSR, it is something like a written exam, and criteria actually represent the 7 papers. If I say criteria 7, we have 7 criteria across all the educational institutes, and here these can actually be can be called papers. Okay, so you have 7 papers to appear. In this revised framework, not only the academic and administrative aspects of institutional functioning, but also the emerging issues have been included. Under each criterion, a few key indicators are identified. Now, when we see here, out of the 7 criteria, we have these key indicators. So for university 34, for autonomous colleges 34, UG 31, and PG 32. So some numbers are less here. You know, it's because of research, innovation, and extension. We have promotion of research and facilities and collaboration. And even in UG college, we have innovation and ecosystem, which has been relaxed. So we have these 34, you can say, units here. When criteria or questions, key indicators are units of those areas, those topics where you have to answer your questions. And you can see these key indicators are further delineated as metrics, which actually elicit responses from the HEIs. These 7 criteria, along with their KIs, are further distributed under 2 metrics, qualitative and quantitative metrics. And here you can say I can call qualitative metrics as descriptive answers, okay, descriptive questions which elicit descriptive answers, and very short answer question or objective type questions are quantitative metrics. And here you can see the numbers also. For universities, it's 36 now. Earlier it was 38, now 79. Quantitative metrics, now it's 99. And total, you can see here 150. Earlier it was 137. And even for autonomous college, it is so 35 and 72. Now total 107 questions, 107 metrics. Earlier they were 136. And for UG PG colleges, you can see 30, 35 and 58 and 36 and 60. You can see that qualitative metrics, those are descriptive questions I was talking about, that are actually these are related to NAAC peer team visit. NAAC used to assess, NAAC peer team used to assess it. And they are not more or less, they are the same, 36, 35, 35, 36. And in all, for UG colleges, you have 93 total metrics and 96 for PG colleges. Actually, that has been, that revised framework was introduced in July 2017, but in 17 December 2019, they have made drastic changes. And those drastic changes actually has turned into these 4 educational institutions, types of institutions they talked about. So let's proceed. And now, again, you can say these things you know, but here I don't want to tell you about the distribution, but try to bring out to your notice some curious facts. That Criterion 4, infrastructure and learning resources. Then Criterion 6, governance, leadership and management, about which I'm going to talk in detail. And the 7th one, institutional vision and best practices. They have equal weightage points, that is 100 weightage points for all 4 types of HEIs, that is university, autonomous, UG and PG colleges. Whereas curricular aspects has 100 weightage points for UG and PG colleges, and autonomous and university have 150 weightage point, as curriculum design and development is added here in autonomous and university okay, institutes. Now, just the opposite of criterion, this criterion 5, student support and progression, has 100 weightage point for university and autonomous, whereas UG PG colleges have 140 and 130 weightage point respectively. And the second criterion, that is TLE, or teaching, learning and evaluation, and RIE, that is research, innovation and extension, they have a variation of nearly 150 weightage point across the HEIs. And you can see here 350 for UG and 200 for university. Similarly, in research innovation, you have 110 for UG and 250 for university. So there is a variation here in these 2 criterion. You can see the variation is quite evident. And then you can see also the key indicators. When these are the papers, key indicators are the units. So in curricular aspect, you have 4 key indicators. TLE, you have 7 key indicators. Research, innovation, extension, you have 7, 5, and 4. Why 7, 5, of course? 7 for university and autonomous, 5 for PG, and 4 for UG college, which I have already told you some certain areas, certain metrics are here removed. Okay, and then you have 4 and 4 for infrastructure and student support, and then governance, leadership and management has 5 key indicators, about which I'm going to talk in detail. And institutional values and best practices has 3 key indicators, though this is actually the smallest number, but you can see that in 1 key indicator you have 11 metrics to answer, and here 1 question actually requires 1,000 words answers. So that's not my area. Now my area here, I'm going to talk about governance, leadership and management. Now, effective functioning or planning of an institution can be gauged by the policies and practices it has evolved in the matter of planning human resources, recruitment, training, performance appraisal, financial management, and the overall leadership. The criterion 6, governance, leadership and management, or in Hindi, if you call it Shashan, Netritva or Prabandhan, is the backbone of the HEI's organizational culture, and it has a pivotal role in assessment and accreditation process. You will also notice that GLM, governance, leadership, and management, is primarily related to peer team visit. When we try to understand governance and management, we have some questions here, and these questions lead us to our answers. So the first question asks, where are we now, and how we come to know? With the help of the strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and challenges. That is called SWOT analysis. Earlier it was SWOT analysis. T, threats a lot. So T is replaced by C. Now it's challenges. And you know, this SWOT analysis is a very important part of the SSR, because in SSR, executive summary requires to deal with strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and challenges. Secondly, when a principal gives his presentation, his or her presentation, this is focused on SWOT analysis only. And very, very important that peer team members give their report. The report is based on SWOT analysis. So this is a very important step. Next is, where are we going? So how we come to know that where we are going? With the help of vision and mission, goals and objectives. These are the basic guidelines. You can see a kind of a direction which actually gives us to which way we have to go. Okay. And how are we going to get there? And what are the methods we can use to go correctly and properly? That is effective leadership, participative management, and decentralization. These are all the focal points where our GLM focuses. Okay, all these things are very important parameters. We will come to know that's not only the management or the principal, but each and every person, each and every stakeholder of this HEI actually should be a part of it. And next is, how shall we know whether we are going towards the right direction? Okay, now we get the where we are going, we know. How we are going, we know, but the direction is good, correct or not? It is naturally we judged by the organizational culture. Now, NAAC, first of all, focuses on research culture, but the basic is the organizational culture. HEI should actually inculcate a kind of organizational culture involving all the stakeholders and feedback system. Stakeholders, internal stakeholders, those are student, teachers, management, okay. External stakeholders, alumni, parents, industry, and you can have the local leaders, local society. Okay, so all these things stakeholders will be taken into consideration with feedback system. You know, feedback system is actually, it's a part of the outcome-based education. NEP 2020 National Education Policy is also focused on outcome-based. It is not only the students' outcome or their course outcome we are studying here, the teacher's outcome of the institution is also being focused. So feedback system is a very, very important part of our system, okay, that we have to focus on. Now, governance is not about the budget lines, personal issues, and equipment approvals. Okay, generally we think that yes, we will prepare a budget, we will solve some personal issues, and we will purchase some equipment, give permission to purchase some equipment, and some permissions are withheld. We cannot do that. It is about values and vision and strategic leadership. Therefore, it is not only policies and procedures that really matter, but planning and implementation also have a major part to play in governance. Let us talk about the Criterion 6, Governance, Leadership and Management, which has 100 weightage points that are distributed among 5 key indicators, as I have already told you. As you can see, the first is institutional vision and leadership, which carries 10 weightage points. The second key indicator, strategy, development and deployment, also carries 10 weightage points. The third one, faculty empowerment strategies, has a big share of 30 weightage points. Okay, and faculty empowerment is very much akin to the teacher profile and quality which we have in the second criterion. Now, the fourth one is financial management and resource mobilization, carries 20 weightage points again, and this is really, really very important. I will tell you about the importance of it in my course of my presentation. And the fifth is the last one, internal quality assurance system. It is not IQAC, but it is IQAS, okay? Antarik Gunvatta Ashvasan Pranali, okay, which carries important 30 weightage points. So in all, we have 30 weightage point, 100 weightage points here across this criterion, okay? Let us talk here. N.R. Narayan Murthy has rightly said, respect, recognition, and reward flows out of performance, and performance can only be bettered by effective leadership and a systematic strategy. Here, all these 5 key indicators have equal weightage points across the different types of HEI, okay? University, autonomous, PG colleges. You have 10 weightage points under institutional vision and leadership, and these 10 weightage points are divided further into 2 QLM of 5 points each. That means you are supposed to answer, you are supposed to answer here 2 questions under the first key indicator. And if you go down the last column, you can see QLM, QNM in different numbers and weightage points. Now, in all, 10 QLM with 58 weightage points and 6 QNM with 42 weightage points actually are given here, that make a total of 16 metrics, okay, for 100 weightage point in this criteria. So in this criteria, you have 16 questions in all, whereas this 10 QLM will be taken care of by the NAAC peer team, and 6 QNM will be taken care of by SGS through DVV process. Okay, so now let us take them one by one. When we talk about key indicator 6.1, institutional vision and leadership, which carries 10 weightage point. Here, Narayan Murthy is also very much keen to say that to become a star, you become a star not because of your title. You become a star because you are adding a star value to your institution. And for that, effective leadership by setting values and participative decision-making process is the key, not only to achieve the vision, mission, and goals of the institution, but also in building the organizational culture, about which I have already talked. Organizational culture. Now, organizational culture is the crux of this criterion. This organizational culture includes individual autonomy, shared responsibility, and cooperative functioning. So all these things are very important. We need autonomy, we need freedom. Individual freedom is very, very important here. The formal and informal arrangement in this institution to coordinate the academic and administrative planning and implementation reflects the institution's efforts in achieving its vision. Remember, your vision and mission and objectives should be displayed prominently. Where? On your official website, in your prospectus or information brochure, and prominently displayed at the entrance of your institution. You may have NCC or NSS may have their own vision and mission displayed in their respective departments. Even IQAC can have its vision and mission, okay, displayed in the department, like other independent departments. Big departments can have their vision, different vision and mission. Now, under this key indicator, first key indicator, we have 2 metrics. Now, these 2 metrics are actually the governance of the institution is reflective of our and tune with the vision and mission of the institution. I have highlighted here vision and mission of the institution, which has been focused, having 5 weightage point, that is qualitative metric. You have to answer in 500 words, and NAAC peer team will assess it. And the second one is the effective leadership is visible in various institutional practices such as decentralization and participative management. I told you that these words are very important, and it also carries 5 weightage points. Okay, this is a QLM. That means NAAC peer team will see to it, and you have to answer in 500 words. Let's take the first one. Okay, that is 6.1.1. Here you have to describe the vision and mission statement of the institution on the nature of governance, perspective plans, and participation of teachers in the decision-making bodies of the institution. So here you should have vision and mission of the institution for sure, but that vision and mission should be reflected in the governance of the institute, and it should be in tune with it. Okay, it should reflect and it should be in accordance with this vision and mission. And how this vision and mission should be actually clubbed with all these, they reflected through nature of governance, through perspective plans, and participation of teachers in it is not in work in decision making bodies. That is very, very important, and this I have already talked to you. You have 5 descriptions here. You have to paste the link of information or upload any additional information. Now, when we talk about vision and mission of the institution, Arthur C. Clarke is one British science fiction writer, okay, who is famous for Space Odyssey, says the only way to discover the limit of the possible is to go beyond them into the impossible. How these 3 areas, nature of governance, perspective plans, and participation of teachers in the decision-making bodies are reflected in your vision and mission have to be delineated here. Okay, the vision statement is the policy statement of the institution. It should always be short and to the point. As William Shakespeare says, brevity is the soul of wit. Vision statement is not normally changed for a long period of time. You can take it for at least 10 years, but it is advisable to review it time to time. A vision statement focuses on tomorrow, what an organization wants to ultimately become. A mission statement focuses on today. A mission statement is a short summary of an organization's core purpose, focus, and aims. This usually is comprised of a brief description of what the organization does and its key objectives. While vision is a destination, mission is the path. Vision is where you want to go, and mission is how you want to reach the goal. Vision is a concept, and mission is a game plan. So with that, keeping in mind, both the things are very important. Now here I'm going to take the example of NAAC's vision and mission. Mark says to be successful, you have to have quantity of quality. Here, to get good NAAC grades, we should have quantum of quality as well as quantity. And NAAC has emphasized on quality. Quality refers to degree of excellence. We all know a quality culture is the organizational capability. Organizational capability is minded. So quality culture cannot be built unless and until we have organizational culture. It's habits and beliefs that enables it to design and deliver products and services that can meet the needs and be successful over the long term. It is actually based on Kaizen model, a Japanese term for continuous improvement. That's why NAAC's vision says to make quality the defining element of higher education, okay, in India through a combination of self and external quality evaluation, promotion, and sustenance initiative. It's very clear. It is quite clear, crisp, and curt as they mean business. It's simple and subtle, no mincing of words. And NAAC also has a vision of IQAC. And here it says to ensure the quality culture. Now here they are making it quality, focusing on quality, but here they are very much clear. They say we have to ensure the quality culture as the prime concern of higher education institution through institutionalizing and internalizing. Institutionalizing, introducing into your institute first of all, and then assimilating it as it's a part of you. Okay, so internalizing all the initiatives taken with internal and external support. So internally we have to be strong and we can take external support as well to do that. So this is actually IQAC's vision. Now, when we talk about the mission of NAAC, okay, mission statement of NAAC, to arrange for periodic assessment and accreditation. It is not saying that organize, it is saying arrange, okay, so that in the coming times they can have some external players, and then to stimulate academic environment, okay, for promotion of quality Then they talk about self-evaluation, accountability, autonomy, innovations, and yes, they are doing it all, okay? And to undertake quality-related research, studies, consultancy, training programs. And the last but not the least, they focused on, you see, they are all verb-based. Mission statements actually are all verb-based, okay? And quality evaluation, promotion, and sustenance. So in this manner, it's so comprehensive and quite impressive. And whatever they are doing, it is really reflecting all those things. So mission is actually the broad outline of the vision. And all this mission and vision, they are based on, you should have a concrete foundation, so that value, core values or a value framework is very important. And NAAC has these value framework, okay? National development, contributing to national development, global competency, value system, use of technology, quest for excellence. So all these things, keep it in mind. Vision without values can create monsters. So we should have our core values first, and then we can proceed for preparing our vision and mission. Here I have taken a case study for this. This institute has actually, the first vision and mission statement they have formulated here in 2015. Okay, and this institute has actually aspired to become a leader for innovation, quality teaching, research holding high moral values, and to become a forward-thinking institution. What is missing here is, if you are writing something, vision statement, you should have something for the end user. Okay, this is a commercial language. So end user is not included here. They later on realized that it is incomplete. And the mission statement, on the basis of vision statement, they made it, okay, focused on having an atmosphere, okay, with principles of inclusiveness, integrity, innovation, creativity, and quality. And next, they have taken this industry-sponsored projects, internship, various guest lectures, okay, to bridge the gap between industry and academy, okay, and technical and teamwork skills in students. So in that manner, they here covered this vision statement into this, the path they have included. But later on, they realized that there is something, there should be something is actually included, okay, or improved upon. So they have this revised vision and mission statement in 2018. So in 3 years, they changes, as Alvin Toffler has rightly said, change is not merely necessary to life, it is life itself. So vision statement, now this is the earlier one is here, they revised, they made it, okay, to make this a premier academic institution that fosters diversity, value added education and research leading to sustainable innovations. Now they changes these wordings into this, and ultimately in place of making forward thinking institution, they made it, that makes the real difference, transforming learners into leaders. So in this way, whenever you draft your vision statement, keep it in mind, all these things, okay? Or you can also revise if you already have your vision statement and mission statement. So now mission statement, as this is the revised one, okay? And the other one here above, okay, which we have already seen. Now the new one has taken it, academic excellence, knowledge enhancement, and critical thinking. Now, critical thinking capabilities are very important. You know, creative thinking, critical thinking, NEP 2020 is also focusing on that. Okay. And now this, in place of talking all these things, industry sponsor, they have made it, okay, that leveraging of industry academia partnerships. So in few words and impressive words, they change it. And this third one, they talk about teamwork skills and all. It has been taken as to make them lifelong learners, and then technology enabled process and system is to be taken, okay, to create an environment to allow the stakeholders to benefit. So in this manner, the mission statement is also changed. Let us proceed and see the second metric of this, okay? And second metrics actually focuses on effective leadership, which is visible, okay, which is been reflected through the various institutional practices such as decentralization and participative management. Again, you have 5 qualitative points here. We're having 500 words. Let's see, for when they talk about policy decentralization, okay, decentralization means the governance power is not in one hand. The power is distributed and the responsibility shared at different levels. So everyone's participation and contribution becomes important. Policy of decentralization actually includes process of collective decision making, participative management, role of the head of the department, role of faculty members, role of students representatives. Okay, so that means you have to clarify and make a roadmap, a clear-cut roadmap and rules and regulation. Whenever you have any body, okay, or any committee, you should have its objectives and functions clearly written, clearly documented, as policies and procedures are focused. Okay, so when you formulate development objectives, directives, and guidelines with specific plans for implementation by aligning the academic and administrative aspects, it improves the overall quality of institutional governance. So it's very important. Sometimes I generally visit to colleges and they say principal used to decide, management used to decide. No, nothing doing. NAAC wants there should be a system and everybody is involved, and in the decision making, even the students should have their stake. So this we have to keep it in mind, and it should be reflected. That is in Hindi called Vikendrikaran Niti. Okay. Now, when we talk about participative management, Sahbagi Prabandhan, okay, this refers to an open form of management where employees are actively involved in the institution's decision-making process. And this amounts to effective leadership. So what is effective leadership? It is not controlling everyone and deciding on behalf of everyone, but it is a kind of thing where you have to include everybody. Objective of decentralization, that's why includes development of managerial personnel, effective control and supervision. You should have flexibility. You should motivate and boost the morale of the people. Okay, prompt decision making definitely will of course bring results, and reduction of the burden of the that will reduce the burden of the top management, and everybody will be involved. And you will also get interested when you have done you are a part of some decision making area. Okay, and then here I have taken the slide just to relax. A true leader doesn't create separation. A true leader brings people together to work together. So be the leader, don't become the boss. Here is an example of participative management. In due course of time, it was felt to revise the vision and mission statement, which were formulated earlier. And this institute has signed a memorandum of understanding, okay, with the College of Engineering in Pune. Okay, and this is they did to revise the vision and mission statement. And how they did it, you see, it has been very much evident here how the participative management, they have meeting with that with the institute, they have MOU, okay, and then they have a parents meeting discussing all these things, okay, what vision and mission they should have. And with the dates, then alumni feedback they have taken about vision and mission, about then students, then they finalize it with the stakeholders, other stakeholders. The management is also taken into consideration, and later on they finalize the vision and mission statement. So this is the way of example of participative management, which you can, these are the documents you can send to NAAC to show that you are doing all these things. And it is reflected like this. It is the power of teamwork make impossible possible. Yes. After the first key indicator, institutional vision and leadership, in which we saw 2 QLM, qualitative metrics, vision and mission as reflected in the governance, and the effective leadership of 5 weightage points each. The next key indicator is strategy development and deployment, which carries 10 weightage points for all types of HEIs and has 2 QLM and 1 QNM. That means NAAC peer team will see to these 2, but you see the weightage points are quite low, but anyway, we have to work for it. Okay, and let's see this strategy development and deployment, which carries 10 weightage points, okay, has 3 metrics, and these out of these 3 metrics we have 2 qualitative metrics and 1 quantitative metrics. The first metric asks you to tell about institutional strategic or perspective plan, and this plan is effectively deployed. And the second is the functioning of the institutional body as effective and efficient as visible from policies, administrative setup, appointments, service rules, procedures. So many things will be included here. And the third one is about the implementation of e-governance in the area of operation. That means operating management system, you can say, and these are the areas, focal areas NAAC has already given. And here you have 4 quantitative metrics. So let us proceed and see them one by one. And yes, there is a star also, which I forgot to tell you. Yes, this star I'm going to explain you in the next slide regarding this 6.1, actually 6.2.3, that is e-governance. Okay. And this is about the non-applicable metrics. The star, wherever you see the star in my presentation, you immediately take it that it is for non-applicable metric. For universities, this arrangement is not permissible. So this is non-applicable to universities. Now they say NAAC actually, after this assessment and feedback system, they come to know that some questions are out of course. Okay, some institutes say that is not actually, they are not applying to us. So what to do? And we are losing marks. So NAAC has come up with this non-applicable metric system. Okay. Earlier, the weightage point, they used to give you 50 weightage point, you can opt out, okay, till 5%, but now it is 30 weightage point, up to 3% you can opt out. And mind it, per criterion, you can opt out only 10 weightage point. That means 1% from one criterion you can opt out. And that too also, if you see the next one, criterion 1, that is curricular aspects, criterion 2, that is teaching, learning, evaluation, and 7, institutional values and best practices. They are all essential. They are full of essential metrics. You cannot opt out any metrics, either it is qualitative or quantitative. Criterion 1, 2, 7 are actually separate. All have some compulsory paper questions. So these are compulsory questions where you cannot opt out and you cannot have some other alternative. Okay. And then what the remaining criteria are left are 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. So this criterion also comes into it. Okay. And qualitative metrics cannot be opted out. So even from 3, 4, 5, and 6, if there are qualitative metrics, you cannot opt it out. And for that, then they have actually prepared a list of optional metric. You can only opt out those metrics. So the previous question you can see about e-governance, you can opt out. If you say it is not applied or you are about to lose marks, there you can opt out, and then you can be adjusted. The percentage will be adjusted then. So let us take them one by one. This first metric, okay, strategy and perspective plan. Now here they further ask you, describe one activity successfully implemented based on the strategic plan. So first of all, you should have a strategic plan or a perspective plan. Second step is deployment document. Means whatever plan you have made, it is beautifully made, doesn't matter. But how you have implemented it, how you have deployed is very important. And both the documents should be there on your website. So start noting down things which are there compulsory to be on your website. Okay. So on your website, you have this. These 2 documents should be there: strategic plan and deployment documents, whatever documents and you have to give example of one activity here. I have some examples here for you. Okay. Industry connect, research collaboration, outreach programs. So in this manner, you can give some examples in the perspective plan, whatever you have done, any activities can be focused here, but those activities should be, of course, given with the documental proofs. Okay. Here, one example I have taken. This is a college strategic plan, how you can prepare your plan. So this is one example. It's not that you should follow it, but it is kind of a suggestion. You can have suggestion, one column, then current status, then action plan, then timeline and responsibility. And likewise, you can have those plans. The first you have taken accreditation, okay, from recognized bodies, then a contribution of faculty and of members in designing of syllabus, and then funding from various government government and non-government organizations, and accomplished academic autonomy. So you see here in first one, you can see they have decided to have accreditation from bodies, recognized bodies. Now the current status, they say they are preparing for NAAC action plan, they are applying for NAAC and even NBA for 2 programs, and they have kept the timeline within 3 months they will apply for NAAC, and by December 19, okay, they have planned to go for this NBA. And the responsible persons, principal and the core NAAC team. Now core NAAC team, I should make it, okay, IQAC, okay, and principal and head of the department. So in this manner, all these table they have made with different areas. Even here, other suggestions are also there. Physical fitness, okay, of students, okay, involvement students and involvement in sports and NSS activities they have prepared, okay. So all these types of things you can, syllabus delivery, okay, in line with industry academic alliance, okay, and upgradation of faculty qualifications and professional capabilities. That means faculty empowerment programs and other things, and university universal human values. So you can think of many areas and you can work like this. So there should be a strategic plan. That is a very, very important thing, okay. Yeah. And you see, innovation has no limit. You can think, you can devise things, and don't say that we don't have resources. Yeah. Next is 6.2.2. That second metric in key indicator strategic development and deployment is the functioning of institutional bodies is effective and efficient as visible from policies and administrative setup, appointments, service rules, and procedures. Here, what you have to do, you are required to do is to put your organogram of the institution, and you have to explain that organogram. Actually, organogram, you have to, you see, and this organogram is again, yes, the star is there. Again, this organogram should be there on your institutional website. So you have to keep it in mind that you have to prepare an organogram. You have to explain those things. You have to display in your web page also. Okay, and these are the requirements. Actually, organogram of the institution of HEI should have a clear organizational chart. Okay, and it should explain the authority, responsibilities, decentralization, description. The institution should have various administrative policies, service rules, appointments, admission procedures, recruitment, professional policies, grievance redressal mechanism. All these things will come under it. So you can prepare your own organogram like this. Okay, so some few examples are here. It's not that you have to follow this. You can have tree diagram, you can have flow chart or pie diagram. Okay, like this is for the governing body. Okay, and this is another one. This kind you can make, and but you have to explain, okay, how they work, okay, how the policies, how the appointments or recruitments are made. So the steps you have to explain. So all these things should be there. This document should be there in your website. So again, note this that in your diary that it is reflected in the website. Third one, which actually has the star, I told you, that means you can opt it out. E-governance is actually the operating system generally we used to have, that office management system. Okay, if you have administration, finance, student admission, examination, all 4, you will get 100% weightage points. 3 of them 75, 2 of them 50%, any one of them 25, and none of the above. You know it better than me. Okay. So now the documents required. The documents required here is very important. The name of the vendor where the institution purchased the ERP software. Okay, this ERP software is very, very important. Enterprise resource planning. Okay, institutional expenditure statements for heads of e-governance implementation reflected in the audited statement. So you hear 2 things are being highlighted: institutional expenditure statement. Okay, or you can say a kind of a budget for the heads of e-governance. So you have to allocate some budget for e-governance implementation, and that should be reflected in the audited statement as well. Means that will be verified. Means you have the budget and you have spent it. That is very important, and these 2 documents to be actually verified. DVV people will definitely verify it. And this ERP document, okay, with shots of user interface that you have to give as a documental proof, and then policy document on e-governance. If you have any policy document, so prepare a policy document on e-governance. What kind of e-governance you need? What are the things you are going for it? Okay, other areas. Okay, and annual e-governance report approved by governing council. My goodness, this is another challenge for you, that this annual e-governance report is to be prepared. And it is not to be prepared only through IQAC, it should be approved by the governing council. And all these documents, NAAC or DVV people will check. So mind it, whenever you have this kind of a e-governance, you have to keep ready all these documents. Okay. So now this is the data. Okay. Documents is one thing, and data, they used to give a data template. Okay. In this data template, you have to give the names, okay, of this areas of e-governance: administrative, finance, account, student, okay, student admission, or support examination, and then name of the vendor, okay, and year of implementation. They will give you a data template in Excel file. You have to give all those things. Okay, screenshot this. I have already talked about it. Okay, so let's proceed further, and let's talk about after the two key indicators, institutional vision and leadership, and strategy, development, and deployment. Now the third key indicator is faculty development strategies, or faculty empowerment strategies, okay, which carries 30 weightage points, okay, across weightage point across 5 metrics, and that includes the process of planning human resources, including recruitment, performance appraisal, planning professional development programs, and seeking appropriate feedback, analysis of responses, and ensure that they form the basis for planning. So now you can see across all these 4 institutes, types of institutes, it's the same 30 weightage point, and you have 5 here metrics to answer. 2 are QLM and 3 are QNM. Okay, so let's see them all. Now, faculty empowerment strategies, having 30 weightage points and distributed across 5 metrics here. The first metric is asking you about effective welfare measures, okay, carrying 5 qualitative metrics, okay, 5 for UG/PG, but 4 for university and autonomous. Okay, the second one is average percentage of teachers provided with financial support to attend conference workshop. I will be telling you in detail about it. 10, okay, this is qualitative, but it is quantitative for 10 weightage point, but university and autonomous has 8. Then third metric is about professional development, administrative training program organized by the institution. So mind it, keep it in mind, it is organized by your institution for teaching and non-teaching staff. You will have 5 weightage point here, okay, and university will have 8 weightage points. And the fourth one, average percentage of teachers undergoing faculty development program during last 5 years. So there's a very good chance that you can get a weightage point, because most of the teachers generally used to attend FTPs. Okay, so 5 weightage point here, but university has more weightage point here, 10. And the fifth one, institutions performance appraisal system. So if you don't have, you have to start that performance appraisal system for teaching and non-teaching, okay, where you have 5 weightage point. It is qualitative metric, that means NAAC peer team will check it, but university and autonomous don't have any, it doesn't apply to them. So NAAC has actually given them benefit here. So now we'll talk about, now the star is there, you know, the star is for this third one, okay, professional development and administrative training program organized by the institution. I'll talk one by one about them. When we talk about effective welfare measures for teaching and non-teaching, yes, welfare measures are really being given by the apex body, okay, the management or the management body, whichever is there, they should decide on that. They should have a kind of a policy. Again, the policy is required here, okay. So these are the file description, and I'd like to suggest some examples, some areas where this kind of welfare scheme measures can be initiated. You can have group and accident insurance for your staff, interest-free loan policy you can have, or medical subsidy. Or I can also give one example that if the employees' children are getting 70% or more in their 10th or 12th examination, you can give some kind of incentive or gift, or you can sponsor their education, okay? Or those who come in merit, they can be sponsored. So this kind of policy can be prepared for welfare measure. It is entirely up to the management and the apex body, okay? But they should know that if they do that, 5 qualitative metric points will be given to them, okay? The second one actually about the conferences, financial support. Yes, here I will be talking. I told you that I'm going to talk at length. You see, sometimes we do and we submit our this document or receipts when we attend some conferences or workshops towards membership fees or professional bodies, okay, during the last 5 years. So here you have a good chance of getting 10 qualitative metrics, okay, 10 weightage points, okay. And the data here is given here, the name of the conference, name of the teacher, professional body about which you are getting the membership. But mind it that the documents which are required are very challenging. So documents are making things difficult. So policy documents on financial support to teachers for faculty development program. You should have a policy document first of all, okay, that this financial support, this kind of a chunk of course, money, seed money will be given for this faculty development program and teachers will be given. So in the budget, it should appear. So in your budget, that amount should appear. And naturally, it will be then verified in your audited statement. Then list of teachers received financial support. This you can give any list with all the documents, related documents. Audited statement, you mind it, means budget or policy or audited statement highlighting financial support to teachers. And very important, this kind of a cash vouchers will not be accepted as documental proof. Okay, you have to have the complete policy, means in the beginning, in the budget, the money should be allocated that this will be for the faculty development, and in the audited should be highlighted. You have decided, but you give it. So it will not be accepted by NAAC. Okay, so audited statement also be there. You have to highlight it. Okay, so documental proofs are very, very important. Otherwise, if you say, you will be blacklisted. Now the star is here, and you know this. You can have a choice. You can leave this question, and this is for 5 quantitative metric points. Okay, you can leave this. This is organized by the institution. If your institution has not organized professional development or administrative training program, you can better opt for this, and you can have this optional metric. You can take it, and it will be deleted from your this complete mark system, and they will adjust it. Okay, the percentage wise adjust it somewhere. Okay, and if you are doing it, then you have to give these documents for teaching and non-teaching and other documents and proofs they need. And you have again the documents here, the title of professional development program for teachers, title of administrative training program for non-teaching. Now here you can ask me one question, perhaps in the that whether it should be a one-day program or a complete week program, or what kind of a program. If it's a professional development program, they say, okay, so it is not seminar or conference or something. So try that it should be a 5-day, minimum 5-day or 7-day or 15-day program for teachers as well as for non-teachings. Okay, circulars, invitations, brochures, reports, they will be taken as evidence. Okay, and number of participants in each activities. Earlier they used to ask is give the list of number of participants with their signatures, but now these days, thanks to Corona and with this online system, that will be of course taken. I don't know how they are going to take it, but yes, you have to give some documental proof for it. Now this third one is the fourth one here. Average percentage of teachers ongoing online face-to-face faculty development program. So this kind of a program we are now attending, okay, faculty development program. So last 5 years, if any institute is sending their teachers, and average percent of teachers are actually attending this kind of a development program, they'll get 5 quantitative points. Here you can give the total number of teachers for professional development, orientation program, induction program, refresher course, short-term course, that will be included here. This is for FDP. Okay, And this is the data they require: number of teachers, title of the program, duration, and they have a formula. 1 year, then it will be for 5 years, because it is an SSR is an assessment for 5 years. Okay. And this is one example. One college has written like this in faculty empowerment program, that they used to give training programs, workshops, refresher orientation, research orientation. This writing only will not do. You have to give the proofs for it. And the college also gives sabbatical leave. They have given to 2 teachers. They sent 20 teachers for capacity building programs. And then teachers were granted 2 years extension services. This also they have actually included in faculty development program. And retired teachers were put in charge of PG courses. 2 vice principals were appointed. And they also give talks about the college credit cooperative society and education society for giving loans and advances to staff in needs of financial. So in this manner, if you write, but you have to give all these data and data templates and documents to be actually submitted. Now here, these are the data required here. Title of the professional enrichment program for teachers. Okay, e-copy of certificates. So teacher brings certificates, those e-copy should be pasted here, included here. Should be 1 week program. Quite often it has been asked, 1 week means what? So my understanding is for 1 week is for 5 days, minimum 5 days. Actually 7 days, actually not a week. Sunday is off. Saturday also in some institutes it has been off. So 5 days or 6 days. But government programs used to be minimum 6 days. So you can have 6 to 7 days programs. Okay, and they can be considered. Okay. And then annual reports, where this is very, very important. I am telling you, annual reports where the programs are mentioned, attended by the teachers. Now, another thing, you have to have an annual academic report. This is very, very important, but again, it will go to your website also. You have to, and you have to include this annual report, AQAR, that IQAC reports and all. Okay, so when you have this program annual report where the programs are mentioned, attended by the teacher. So when you submit that annual report, everything should be mentioned there. This will be taken as documental proof. So keep it in mind. You have to prepare annual report compulsorily. And in this annual report, it's not only the performance of the students are actually incorporated, whether they have participated intercollegiate or national level, but even the teachers, those who have attended FDP or refresher courses, orientation courses, that are training, research training program, all these things should be incorporated. Okay. And yes, this is a faculty development. If you empower them, they become so independent and they can move like this. So just in a lighter note, this next is actually the fifth one. Fifth metric under faculty empowerment strategy is institutional performance appraisal system, which is university and autonomous bodies are actually relaxed from it, but we have 5 weightage point and it's a QLM. NAAC peer team will see, you have to answer in 500 words. Here you have to explain functioning status of the performance appraisal system. First of all, we should have a performance appraisal system. You can talk that we have a perform PBS, performance-based appraisal system for API, academic performance indicator. We generally use for CAS, career advancement system. That is the system of the university. You can have your institutional performance appraisal, or sometimes I have seen in when I visited some institutes, they have this confidential report. Okay, so they ask their performance appraisal pro forma, they develop this pro forma and they put their confidential report on the basis of this performance appraisal system. So you have to have this kind of a performance appraisal system, okay, which can be, of course, a part of your the annual or the CAS career advancement system also can work there, but you should have your own performance appraisal system. Now, next is says that clear conscience is the softest pillow in the world. Yes, and in financial management, what is needed is that a soft pillow. And after third key indicator, faculty empowerment strategies, which carries 30 weightage points, including 5 metrics, 2 QLM and 3 QNM. Now the fourth key indicator is financial management and resource mobilization, which carries 20 weightage point across all the institutions, and 3 metrics, 1 qualitative, 2 qualitative, and 1 quantitative metrics. Okay. Now, annual budgeting and the optimal utilization of finance as well as mobilization of resources are the issues considered under this key indicator. There are established procedures and processes for planning and allocation of financial resources. The institution has to develop strategies for mobilizing resources and ensure transparency in financial management of the institution. The income and expenditure of the institution are subjected to regular internal and external audit. So all these areas are very, very important. And yes, internal and external audits are really, really very important areas. Under this key indicators, 4 key indicator, we have 20 weightage point, and here you have 3 metrics. So the first metric is about internal and external financial audit, carries 6 weightage point. Okay. Now, and the second is about the grants received from non-governmental bodies, individual philanthropists. Okay. In last 5 years, generally it has been asked in Criterion 3, where you have the grants from government bodies or for research related thing. But here you get grants from non-governmental bodies. Okay, carries 8 weightage point, that is Q&M. And the third one is about mobilization. These two phrases are very important: mobilization of funds and optimal utilization of resources. We will talk about it. It carries 6 QLM, so 2 QLM and 1 QNM here. Okay, totals to 20 weightage points. So let's move next and see them one by one. But yes, 1 star is there. Now you know the star, why the star is here. Okay, if you don't have any non-governmental bodies grants, you can say now we want to leave this. You can opt out this metric. Now the first one here, 6.4.1, internal and external audit. Here you have to enumerate the various internal and external audit, financial audit carried out during last 5 years. Generally, we used to do the audits, external audit, financial audit. Okay, it is compulsory, it is mandatory for us. But with the mechanism for settling audit objections, so mind it, this is very important. Not only having internal or external financial audit, that's sufficient, but you should have a mechanism, okay, a system, a policy for settling audit objections actually brought forth, or you should be able to deal with them with this mechanism. So this is again a very important part of it. You have to give this detail with the link and upload the additional information here. And these are the documents required. Okay, what documents? Internal audit. Now internal audit is actually optional, but now NAAC has given you some weightage point here. So I request, if we are not doing it, please start doing internal auditing. And most of you colleges, those who are already accredited for first and second cycle, or third cycle, they have already done it, they are doing it. So you can appointed by the management. Internal auditor should not be a person from the college, though the college may be a financial college or a management college, but you should appoint somebody from outside, even for internal auditing, okay, for verification of financial transactions. Okay, external audit is conducted by a statutory auditor certified by chartered accountant. That we do, we generally do this. Okay, but the CA's auditing is done with the external audit. It's compulsory, it's mandatory for all of us. Yes, external auditing is mandatory for all the institutions. So the important point is here, internal audit, which if you are not doing it, you should do it. Okay, and you should appoint somebody from the outside. The management can appoint somebody from outside to do that. The person can verify the financial transaction before submitting it for this external auditing. Yes, the second one, the second metric is here, funds, which has the star, which we know. Okay, so if you don't have any non-governmental bodies giving grants, okay, so you can opt it out. Otherwise, you have to give the name of those bodies on individuals, those who are giving the grants, and that these details are to be given. Okay. Optimal utilization of resources is the third one. Okay. Now here 2 areas are focused: mobilization of funds and the optimal utilization of resources. mobilization of funds. So you should have those resources of funds, and they should be utilized, and optimal utilization of resources. Resources means it can be infrastructure, it can be the seed money or money. So here you have to describe the resource mobilization policy. Again, a policy is to be there, okay, which will reflect how you utilize your money. So if I suggest here something, that is, when you prepare a budget, in the budget you have to allocate those things, okay, the percentage, as NAAC perhaps is expecting you to give 30% perhaps for your infrastructure augmentation and maintenance, 10% specially separately for maintenance, 10% for teaching learning resources, 10% for book purchase. So all these things are to be actually, and for the research and faculty development, 10%, or it can be maybe 20%. It is up to the kind of finances you have, okay, or the resource you have mobilized from outside, okay, some grants you have mobilized. So these two things are procedure of the institution should be reflected here. So again, you have to give a policy, you have to paste the link of it, then upload the additional information. So it's not so easy. If it is not done, you have to do this. Yes. You can have, for example, that examination conducted by governments in your college premises, that is optimal use. Or you can have the library utilized by the common people, as in my college, we have a public library facilities, that is optimal use of the thing. And here also, we know this kind of a jugaad. Okay. So now the next is internal quality assurance system. Here, this is the fifth one. Okay. And N.R. Narayan Murthy has rightly said here, valuable advice can sometimes come from unexpected sources, and chance events can sometimes open new doors. So this is the internal quality, the last here key indicator, which carries 30 weightage points, and you can see 3 questions here, 2 QLM and 1 QNM. So let's proceed and see them one by one. Okay, key indicator, quality, internal quality assurance system, 30 weightage point. You should include here. The system of this are actually self responsibilities of the higher education institutions aimed at continuous improvement of quality and achieving academic excellence. The institution should have mechanisms for academic and administrative auditing. It has to adopt quality management strategies in all academic and administrative aspects. The institution should have an IQAC adopts a participatory approach in managing its provision. So now this AAA also I'll talk later on. Okay, so these are some areas. What are they important in IQAS? And under this system, we have 3 metrics here. Okay, one metric has got 10 QLM, then second metric has got again 10 QLM, that is NAAC peer team will see to it. And the third one is actually quantitative, internal quality assurance cell. So you have internal quality assurance cell, and which is contributing, okay, with strategies and processes, you will get 10 weightage point. NAAC peer team will come, and when they will have the presentation of IQAC, you have to pinpoint, you have to focus on all these areas, what you are doing, okay, for the strategies and processes to institutionalize and internalize. And the second one is teaching learning process. This is really, really very important. And this is related to the second criterion also, where we talk about teaching learning. You have to a review system. Again, the review policy, okay, for learning process, structures, methodologies of operation and learning outcome, mind it. Okay, so in the first perhaps presentation, you have at length talked about, you come to know about this outcome. Again, you have 10 QLM here, and the third one is quality assurance initiative. So IQAC actually undertakes some initiatives, and these are 4 options they have given. Okay, you should have functional IQAC, that is IQA. Then you should have some collaborative quality initiative with other institute. This, what you are conducting, this will fetch you marks here. Okay, this is a collaborative colleges, those who are conducting FDP. Here also you can have those marks, okay, weightage points. And participation in NRIF, I'm going to talk about it, okay, and ISO and NBA certification. If you have any quality auditing by other recognized agencies, 10 weightage point here, but this is SGS through DBBA. Okay, this is not for NAAC peer team to see. So let's talk about the first one, IQAC. Okay, here you have to mention two practices. What two things IQAC is actually doing that is institutionalized as a result of IQAC initiatives. Okay, and you have to paste the link of it and upload those things. Some example I can suggest here. Okay, can have internal academic audit. You can have. Okay, you can have green audit. Okay, there are some players of green audit I have mentioned. I know that you're going to ask me questions about green audit, gender audit, publication of college journal. You know it. Okay, you can publish. So these kinds of practices IQAC can have, and it can show, okay, in last 5 years what you have started. Okay, MOU with NGO for industrial work training, or the kind of internship you send. Okay, so green audit, if I say, it is the process of assessing the environmental impact of an organization, process, project, product, etc. And gender audit is actually a tool or a process based on the methodology to promote organizational learning at the individual, work unit, and organizational levels on how to practically and effectively mainstream genders are actually taken into consideration. Okay. So gender audit is actually done by some agencies outside it. You cannot do it on your own. Okay. So here you have to see the gender equity also, which means fairness of treatment for women and men. Okay, according to their respective needs. All these things will be equal treatment to them and equal opportunities to them. These are the things we can have. Okay. Now then, here I have talked about. I have given one that is the page of environmental audit, that is Green Spectro. Okay, this is one agency which does green auditing. It works on several facets on green campus, including water conservation, tree plantation, waste management, paperless work, alternative energy, mapping of biodiversity. I have heard now these days fans have come, those you can save 75% of energy. They are energy efficient fans or smart fans, they are called. So all these things will matter, but you cannot say that we have done the green audit means internally. There should be an outside agency, there should be a kind of a recommendation, a report. Okay, and there will be a carbon mapping and everything. So what kind of a carbon the institute is emitting, and what are the measures it is undertaking. All these will come, because I'm going to show you one example of University of Punjab. They talk about all these things. NAAC is not going to accept this. NAAC will see the report, okay, of the agency. It will not be accepted by NAAC. If you say we are doing all these things, these things, we have assigned some staff members and we have recruited some people. No, this will not be accepted. Okay, you have to have the report and the recommendation, okay, with it. And you should have an external body agency for it. Institutional review of teaching, learning, and reforms, the second one. So this is really very, very important. You have to give two examples again here, that how you are reviewing all these areas, okay, and how you are improving that improvement in various activities you are doing. Here you have to give two examples again for it, okay. And I can suggest some examples here. Online practice exam you can show, and in this pandemic time, creation of class blog. You can have peer group learning initiative. You can have use of mobile apps for mentoring and guidance. That can be easily done, or you must be doing it. Okay. And blended learning is another task. And flipped classroom you can also talk about. And blended learning and flipped classroom, you must be aware of it. It's a mixed different learning environment. Okay. Such as traditional face-to-face classroom methods, okay, in combination with computer-mediated activities. And flipped classroom also, that is instructional strategies, a type of blended learning it is, focused on student engagement and active learning, and giving the instructor a better opportunity to deal with mixed levels of students' difficulties and differentiated learning preferences during the in-class time. So flipped classroom learning are these days, perhaps certain things we are also doing it knowingly or non-knowingly. Yeah. Yes, and you see, our students are smarter than us, and we when use technology and display them something, they get it like this. But you see, this is an example of Susiksha. If you have a value system, okay, this is the example. Despite the challenging situation, if we are doing it, otherwise we can make many excuses. or we should not have this kind of acoustic also, okay, where you learn something and yes. So the picture shows it all. So let us proceed. Okay. So we should not have things like this. Okay. Quality assurance, assurance initiatives. The third one here. Again, now here you have to show the initiative. More or less, they are the same thing. They want examples here. But now here they have already given you enumerated 4 things. Whether you have a regular IQAC meetings, that means functional IQAC with feedback. Whenever we talk about meeting, 3 things are very important. 3 things means agenda of the meeting, then minutes of the meeting, and action taken of the meeting. Okay. And feedback collected, analyzed, and used, because in IQAC is very much related to getting feedback. Even for this FDP, whatever feedback you get, only getting feedback is not important. You have to analyze and then you have to put forth before the committee, the concerned committee, for the improvement. So action taken is also very important. All these things you have to show, that regular meeting and then collaboration. This I have already talked. Participation of NRIF, I'm going to talk a little bit later. Okay, NRIF, now we all know National Institutional Ranking Framework, and people were asking why NAAC is there, what's the need of NRIF? NRIF has a different work to do. NRIF is actually a ranking system. Just like in world, you have a world ranking system, NRIF is a national ranking system. NAAC is doing the quality judgment, is a quality examiner, I should say. Okay. And the third thing, next thing is about ISO certification and NBA. Okay. Other quality audits you can have. Okay. And this can fetch you 10 weightage point. If you have all of them, 100%. If you have 3 of them, then 75. If you have any 2 of them, 50% marks. And any 1 of them, you know it 25, and none of above, I need not tell you. Okay. So I'll just talk about NRIF. Recently, NRIF has come up with the notification 9921. Okay. The ranking has been released. And I tell you, if we are not doing some college, most of the colleges must be doing it. Those who are not doing, I'm telling you, please do it. It doesn't require money. It only you have to get registered yourself in the month of August. And then they give you registration, and then you can send them some data. Okay, they ask some data that is not very difficult, like NAAC. Okay, they don't really want some documental proof. So it's easy to send that data also. And definitely you better do it. You Google and find NRIF details. Now the process, they must be in the process. Now they have declared, and for the next year, they'll definitely go for it. And to 2021 ranking, they have already declared. And they have these parameters, okay, teaching, learning resources, research, professional practices, graduation outcome, outreach and inclusivity, and perception. So these are some parameters. That's not very difficult, and you'll find them quite easy to do that. Those who are not doing, I request them to do that to get a weightage point here. And data, what is required here in this is actually, you already know all these data. If you have NRIF certificate or notification, okay, or the report they sent it to you, then AQR, all these document here also you give documents. So you know all these things. You have to upload this all the e-copies of accreditation and certificates. Okay, so I'll proceed further. You see, guidelines for creation of internal quality assurance cell. So IQAC, they have recently come up with revised April 2020, they call it version 1.0, and now they have updated on August 2020. So please get August 2020 this thing, and it's there on NAAC website. You can get it, and you will come to know about those submission of AQAR, okay, and how the formation of IQAC and what are the function of IQAC. Okay, all these things are there, and most of you must be aware of it, and the composition of IQAC. Now the minor change they have done here is, actually earlier they say that few senior administrative officer, but now it is only one. They made it an office superintendent and manager, but they kept it same. Okay, teachers 3 to 8. 3 to 8 means not all the senior teachers, even from the assistant professor to associate professor. Okay, one member for management also they have given, that this one member for management should be very well aware of the education system, higher education system, learned, okay, and who can contribute concretely can be taken, and all these things, society, trust, student, alumni, okay, one member from each, and employer, industry, industrialist, stakeholders. It may be parents also. One parent you can keep it here, okay, or from local member you can have. So in all, the senior teacher can be a coordinator, and in all you have minimum 30 members or maximum 20 members in this IQAC system, okay, IQAC yes, cell. And this membership should be for 2 years, and the meeting should be, you know, all these things, 2/3 of the total member, that is the quorum. And I told you about the agenda, minutes, action taken reports. That's very important. And mind it, they should all be maintained electronically in a retrievable form. And I tell you that it should be again on your website. It is not given here, but all these things should be uploaded on your website. So change the coordinator after 2 to 3 years. Hello, hello.
Yes,
hello.
ma'am.
Is there any problem?
No, ma'am.
No problem. Okay.
Okay. Please go ahead.
Yeah. I thought that it has been stopped. Okay. So now coordinator should be changed, but I think when you prepare somebody, a coordinator is a very, very important member of this IQAC, and changing in 2 to 3 years is really a quite challenging thing. So it is, you have to think as per your institution. Every institution has their own style of working, so they can think about it. And you see IQAC coordinator, a very, very strong, robust, and doing all this thing. Okay, he is there, the center of everything and managing everything. He should be very active, very energetic person, and he should have all this, that he has a major role in implementing all IQAC functions, effective. He should ensure the effective functioning of all the activities and objectives, and he should be a committed member. He should have the sound knowledge of computer. All these things are enumerated there in the document. So please go through the document to read everything. Okay. And in this guideline, certain things are given which I wanted to share with you, that institution has to submit AQR online in the prescribed format only, that is, and duly filled data template has to be submitted along with AQR online. Now with AQR, just like SSR, now you have to submit all the data templates. Earlier they were not there, but now you have to fill those data template and send it. Okay, data template along with supporting documents to be uploaded. And mind it again, it is with the in the institutional website. So note it again that it should be reflected in your institutional website. That QLM responses, now in SSR we have to answer in 500 words, but here in this AQR you have to answer in less than 200 words, okay, or between 100 to 200 words. Okay, that is the only relaxation. Otherwise it is as strict as the SSR, okay, as challenging. If the institution does not submit the AQR, okay, you will be recorded as late submission, or after approval of AQR you cannot edit it. Okay, so they'll give you 3 chances to edit. Okay, they'll send you 3 emails, but if you don't respond, then they will approve that AQR, and then you won't be able to edit it. And now, if wherever it is written down during the year in AQR, it is the latest completed academic year, and the revised format of AQR will be implemented from the academic. The revised format I told you, I showed it to you. It's not for 1920, but it is for 2021. So from the recently completed year 2021 will be in the new revised format. Okay, so you have to do that. You must be aware of all those things. And the HEI which are submitting AQR of the first cycle, okay, and the subsequent cycle should provide the previous AQR. If you are doing it for the first time, it's okay. But for the second, if you are doing, you have to give the link of the first AQR. And those institutes who are doing it first time, they will give the link of SSR. Okay. And here is the link. You can go click the link and get all the details here. Now, this is the guideline, AQR guideline for 1920. You have to just give this PDF and Word format here. okay, for 1920, but for 2021, you have this data template now. Now this is Excel files are added. This you have to do. This is as challenging as if you are filling your SSR. It is very time consuming. So for affiliated or UG college and PG college, you have this format, okay? And there are some metrics which don't require this data template. It is given here, the list is given here, okay, where data template is not required. But for most of them, you have this kind of a sheet, 1, 2, I have taken it from the site only. So you have to give your data on the Excel sheet, okay? This data template is given, you have to give the details, definitely with the proofs, also with the documental proofs. There are 3 notifications. On 31st December 2020, there was a notification considering this pandemic, okay, situation. Why I have taken this? Let me tell you this, that in view of COVID-19, the academic year data for metrics of all institution types which have submitted SSR and not pre-qualified. Mind it, those who have submitted SSR, but they have not qualified. There is a procedure, I don't know if you are told about it, that there is a pre-qualification. Just like IS exam, you have a prelims and then final exam. When you clear that SGS or DVB process, you become pre-qualified. That means out of that 70%, if you get 25%, you become pre-qualified. And triple S to be completed later on, okay, but it is not pre-qualification. And with the submitting, will be submitting SSR in the coming future, okay? Or those institutions, those who are planning to submit SSR, most of us actually in the sailing in the same board, we are planning to submit our SSR in the coming future. You mind it that academic year 1920 data will be considered from 1st June 19 to 31st December 2020. Okay, so 1920 data you can have from 1st June 2019 to 31st December 2020. Okay, for all DBB verification. Do you mind it? Note it, okay, because most of us are actually about to send, most of us. Okay, so keep it in mind this. Another notification is on 11th May 2021, which says that revised timeline is extended. Earlier, they have given 31st May 21 for submission of 1920 AQAR to 31st August 2021. Okay, online submission was given here due to COVID pandemic. This last date actually of the for online submission of the academic year 2021 is that remains 31st December. So here I'm talking about 2 submission, 1920 data. Okay, they have extended till 31st August. It's gone. And the good news is that they have extended this also. Okay, and you have got 31st December 2021 even to submit 1920 data, and for 2021 data, the deadline is again the same, 31st December 2021. So if you have submitted for 1920, so now gear up for 2021 because the last date is 31st December. This is the notification. The 31st August was extended, and that is then you can submit the data by 31st of December 2021. This is the another notification which is giving you that relaxation that 1920 data can be submitted now by 31st December. But you should mind it the timeline. Okay, the months, the area you have to here consider, that is June 2019 to December 2020. Okay, and IIQA, if you are going for the process of IIQA, that is the first step for submitting SSR. Okay, institutional information for quality assessment, you have to give the dates of IQAC establishment, minutes of IQAC should be uploaded. So again, the college website, you have to upload this. I told you, okay? So on college website, you should have this action taken report uploaded on the college website. And the fourth thing is ISA certificate. That is All India Survey on higher education certificate is compulsory. So ISA, we all go through this ISA process, and the track ID, the ID of ISA is very important as we go for the process of IIQA to enter into SSR submission. So all these things you know, and sir has in the first session, sir has talked about the Hindi manual of affiliated PG colleges, which is uploaded on 17th August 2021. So have a look to it, and all these things are important for PG and UG colleges, not only the manual, but you have to have the revised extension profile template, then revised data like here. Okay, So revised extension profile template, revised data template, and SOPD for DVV. All these 3 documents should be read together with the manual, and then after reading them and studying them together and discussing them together, you can go in for filling your IIQA, okay, or other details of SSR. And you are very lucky that due to pandemic, the fees are also being reduced, okay. That is registration IIQA registration fees 25,000 plus GST, you know it. But now for university, it is 3 lakh, okay, at stretch. And for mono faculty, single faculty, multi-faculty, or any other college, grantee or private government college, they have made it 1 lakh only, okay. So 50% is to be paid at the time when you send your SSR. So 50,000 GST, 18% GST, that is 59,000. All these things are there, but I just showed it to you for your information. But please do everything not like sarkari karmachari, okay, sarkari kaam kar rahe hain, but do it wholeheartedly. Madam, let me know if I have a chance to show you a little video, small video clip. If you say otherwise, I will skip it.
Yes,
madam.
Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you, madam. Yes, I have a small video clip for you.
Please, lifelong students. You know, when we're kids, we ask questions like, why is the sky blue? Why is the bird flying so high? But for some reason, as we get older, that curiosity goes away. And if we're happy with the knowledge we have, then we are actually going to atrophy. Please remain a lifelong student. Don't lose that curiosity. Second, whatever you do, throw yourself into it. Throw your head, heart, and hands into it. I look at my job not as a job. I look at it as a calling, as a passion. And I don't care about the hours. I don't care about the heart. So whatever you do, please look upon it as a calling and a passion, not as a job, not as something temporary. The most important one, please help others rise. Greatness comes not from a position, but from helping build the future. All of us in positions of power have an obligation to pull others up. The fourth skill I say is consistency. It's important that leaders are consistent. You can change your mind, but change your mind against a consistent framework. Because if you're not consistent, people are always second guessing what you do. So be consistent. And the last skill is your compass. Integrity is critical in this job. You can be competent, you can be courageous, have confidence, be a great communicator, be consistent. But if you don't have integrity, that compass doesn't point true north.
Yes. She was listed the Time magazine's 100 most influential people in the world in 2007 and 2008. Indira Nooyi, CEO, PepsiCo. Yeah, what she says is you have to fight to reach your dream and you have to sacrifice and work hard for it. Keep it in mind, 5 things she says. That first, be a lifelong student. Don't lose curiosity to learn. Second, she says, whatever you do, throw your head and heart and hand into it and treat your work as calling or passion. Third, help others to rise, pull them up. Okay, that is very, very important. And fourth, always be consistent in your approach. And last, compass. That is, you should always point to north, your integrity and honesty. Be honest and faithful to your institute. That is very important. And with this message for your IQAC, the success of IQAC depends upon the sense of belongingness and participation from each segment of the cell. Okay, creation of quality circle. Okay, develop a passion for learning. If you do, you will never cease to grow. And 3 things, best things you can do: encourage instead of criticizing, understand instead of judging, initiate instead of waiting. So with that little note, I conclude here. I hope that you may have questions also. And thank you for your patient listening. I here stop my presentation. Okay.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Participants can post their questions in the YouTube chat box. Also, the principals and the IQAC coordinators of the collaborative colleges who have joined us through Zoom, they can ask their questions by unmuting their mic.
Jyoti madam, I have a question.
Yes, please, madam. Yes.
It was a very good presentation. First and foremost, let me congratulate you. Very informative, detailed, step by step. We were discussing about the ASAI certificate, isn't it?
Yeah.
And ASHI certificate, which you just informed.
Yeah.
It is very important to fill and to submit when we are going on with the proceedings of pre-SSR submission.
Okay.
But it has been stopped, as you also know, since last 2 years. No development in that. So how are they?
Madam, I could not hear a little bit of it. Please repeat your question.
For submission of our SSR.
Yeah.
Or pre-qualifier before that, we have to submit, which is a very important requirement, is AISHE certificate, isn't it?
Yes, AISHE certificate.
Yeah. And since last 2 years, the site is not taking that. So how to go about it?
Yes, no, without AISHE, this track, you have to give that AISHE track ID, okay, for that, and without this thing, they will not accept it. Or if there are some relaxations, we have to contact NAAC people for that, since we are not getting AISHE certificates because of pandemic, that they can consider. But it has been actually many colleges are actually processing. That means they are getting the certificates. Or not the certificates, but if you have the track ID, that ID, okay, that will do. That you submit, and yes, you can do that. In place of certificate, if the ID is given, the AISHE ID is given, because without ID you cannot proceed even further. Okay, for IIQA.
Hopefully they should consider that.
Yes, they will. NAAC, actually, let me tell you one thing. NAAC is a very, very flexible body. They are very considerate. But you see, when they have roped in this third party for DVV, this thing procedure, they are little rigid, because they have got some instructions from NAAC and they follow those things very strictly. So sometimes it becomes really challenging, and they don't get convinced if some institutes have some problems in sending the documents and other things. Otherwise, if you contact NAAC people, they are quite considerate. And we have the management, that issue management system also. You can send your queries, they definitely answer it, and they are promptly answer these things. Their setup is wonderful in that way. Yeah.
Okay, madam, thank you.
Okay, let me see if in YouTube some people are asking.
Yes, ma'am.
Please tell me, madam, can a meeting convened by the principal where entire staff is present be considered IQAC meeting? A good question, but I'm really sorry. This cannot be considered. Okay, this cannot be considered. IQAC should have their own meeting, or you can have your notification. You can have your agenda in the principal's meeting. You can have IQAC notification and agenda, and all these minutes of the meeting should be recorded. Okay, and IQAC coordinator should actually record all those things. Okay, that is important. So actually, IQAC is a kind of a mediator for everything. Whatever all the committees, whatever report are being prepared, they should go through IQAC. And IQAC should actually prepare a kind of recommendation for CDC. Now in Maharashtra, you have CDC, College Development Committee, that is an apex body. Okay, so you can present it there. The recommendation can be put there through IQAC. It is not the other committees or the departments, they can put their recommendations. It is IQAC which will put the recommendation. So you have to put everything before IQAC. IQAC is actually the mediator body these days, and it's very, very important and powerful body. Even if anybody is going for a placement, this thing, so the scrutiny will be done by IQAC. You know, the committee members are there to do the scrutiny and all. Yeah, please.
Patil madam, we have one more question, and this question.
Yes.
This question is. And this question is asked by Professor Vaishali Meshram, I think of MP Dev Memorial College.
Okay.
If college has no project sanctioned by any agencies in the last 5 years, major or minor.
Yes.
What if there is no major or minor project sanctioned by any governing body?
Yeah. Yeah, it is the same scenario in every college these days. So that's an optional question. No, you can opt it out. You better opt it out. Means I tell you in Criterion, the Criterion I was dealing with, you don't have actually 10 points in so many things, but 8 points were there. So you can opt out that 8 weightage points. You can opt out that question if you are not getting grants. And if it is an optional question, you can better opt it out. But if you are doing something just like e-governance, for example, e-governance, that's an optional one. But in most of the colleges, you have that system, admission system, then a library system, library management system. So all these systems, you can get marks. So I request not to opt it out. So you know it. It is not my suggestion. You know it better. So you know your institute better. Yeah.
Madam,
and I see one question here. IQAC meeting should be videographed. It's not important, not necessary. You can have some pictures with geotagging thing that you can do. Now, geotagging is very, very important. And in documentation, if anybody has any presentation, that person will tell you whatever from 2019, that is for 2019, 20, and 2021, you have to have all the documents, all the pictures or whatever you are showing that should be geotagged. Okay, that's very easy. In mobile, it's very easy. You can have that location on and you can click it. NAAC used to give you the suggestion. If you go to NAAC site, they suggest you how you can do for geotagging. But there are some apps also which helps you to see the longitude, latitude, date and time, everything there with the picture. So picture cannot be false or fake. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Let me see if there's other questions in. Yes. Yes. This I have seen. You have told me the college project sanctioned by any agency for last 5 years, minor, major. But minor agencies are government agency. If it is not sanctioned by this is the question for Criterion 3 actually. Non-government agencies giving grants is the question for Criterion 5. Told me. Yeah. Yes, please. Anybody? Nobody can unmute and ask. So please type your questions.
Patil Madam, we have one more question from Dr. Dhananjay Gabane.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I can read it.
In present situation, no recruitment of teachers in colleges, then how to work?
Even I am sailing in the same boat. Everybody is sailing in the same boat here. Yes, it's quite challenging. And in the first deliberation, I heard, or perhaps not in the first, perhaps somebody was delivering a lecture, and then I heard that you can make the temporary appointment full time. They don't say that that full-time appointment should be a permanent one or university authorized or government authorized. So they can have, the management can also appoint full-time teachers only for years, and that you can include and show. But then management has to pay for that. And that's really true. And when we are talking about quality, the basic requirement that one should have is you should have teachers. So I am with you in this regard, and certain things we cannot help. So the process should go, but management can do one thing, or your body can do one thing. They can appoint teachers not as contributory, but as full-time teachers, just for 1 year, just for the one session. So you can show that they are full-time teachers, and the full-time teacher ratio will be increased. That is the clue they have given. So that we can do, but it is definitely management's discretion. Okay, we cannot say that you should appoint, and because giving payment to those teachers is again a debatable issue. What kind of a payment you are going to give? But if it is government or university approved, then you have to think about giving them full salary, UGC salary. So that's really impossible for the management. Yeah.
Madam, Dr. Nihal from Santaji College.
Okay.
He has a question. For affiliated colleges, can there be separate IQAC coordinator and steering committee coordinator?
You see, this is actually when earlier IQAC was not there. So we used to have one NAAC coordinator from college. One NAAC coordinator used to be from the NAAC office, okay? And one we used to have NAAC coordinator from the college, okay? Long back in 2003, 2005, we used to have it. And in 2008 also till 9, people keep continuing that. One NAAC coordinator also used to be there, and then another is IQAC coordinator. But I don't think there is a necessity for IQAC coordinator. Is just like a parallel government. He is head of the complete setup. So he's in a way he has more power than the principal. Principal has become a kind of a president in the parliamentary system, and IQAC coordinator becomes really very, very powerful as far as things are concerned. The network is concerned. Okay. Ultimate decisions will be done in the CDC or in the apex body. Okay. But it should be.
No, Madam, but what do you suggest? It is better to have two separate people for two separate this. Is it better?
You see, no, I don't think that it is up to you, madam, your system, but I don't think it is needed. IQAC coordinator should actually enjoy that top position, and he can assign, he can have some people for doing that. For steering committee, if you keep, but in big colleges, I have seen that they have, that is their system. Okay, you can have internal system. There is NAAC is not objecting to it. You can have it. It is your option. It is completely your option. Okay. So NAAC has nothing to say to anything to it, but IQAC coordinator is answerable, and he will present everything because he's the one who knows everything. Even principal sitting in the chamber doesn't know many things, but IQAC coordinator has many eyes, many ears, and please, but perhaps one mouth only. So IQAC coordinator.
Patil, madam, but actually during our last assessment, we had two different coordinators.
Okay.
I was the NAAC coordinator, and Dr. Vaishali Meshram, she was the IQAC coordinator.
That I told you, I just told you the thing. It is not necessary. It is not necessary. But if the institute thinks that it should be given to NAAC, because now this NAAC coordinator, this post is redundant now. IQAC coordinator has to do everything, and he has to go before the NAAC peer team also. And he's the one who will take care of those members. As soon as they come, NAAC peer team comes, they will not meet the principal. They actually directly talk to the IQAC coordinator. IQAC coordinator conveys it to the principal or the higher authorities or the other people. And it doesn't require. But if I have seen many institutes used to keep continuing with NAAC coordinator and steering committee coordinator, but it depends. You can have, if your institute is big and documentations are very challenging. Now these days, in the first system, we are facing this problem when we prepare this SSR, but in the coming cycles, we will not face these problems. Okay, because we will be then acclimatized to this kind of documentation. So that will be easier for us. Now it is new things will have that hiccups, no? So the hiccups are there, and quality, somebody has asked about the quality with no teachers to teach. In my college, there is nobody to teach political science and geography, permanent teachers. So we are sailing in the same boat. We have to, of course, take care of the students' interest. We have to appoint some contributory teachers. But if you appoint them in the contractual basis as full-time, you can show it on your this thing, and the ratio of the teacher and student will be managed. This is the clue somebody has given. So that's a good clue. But then management has to decide to pay to a
Madam,
teacher.
I had a recent experience. Sorry for interrupting.
Yes, please.
I was in the IQAC committee for one college, for example, and the peer team which had come, they were insisting again and again, why is IQAC playing such a dominant role? Everything is IQAC supposed to do. That put a question mark on my face also.
No. If they are asking this is wrong, because the NAAC wanted IQAC to be very powerful, means very functional.
But
okay,
they underestimated everything IQAC was showing, projecting, PPT presentation by IQAC. Even they had words like the principle is minimized and the IQAC is dominating, which is not the policy. They were insisting like that, madam. This experience I had, my first hand experience I had in a college where I was a esteemed member of the IQAC. And this thing took me aback. Like we are always supposed to believe this. After that, I made a decision that these two entities have to be separate, IQAC coordinator and NAAC coordinator. This decision was made that very day for me.
Okay. You see, when IQAC is making decisions for everything, IQAC is a kind of a moderating body. The committees or the departments can send their recommendation. Sports department can send their recommendation to IQAC, and IQAC can prepare the recommendation for the CDC. Okay, that is that. But NAAC coordinator and IQAC coordinator, they are one and the same thing. If they have this kind of understanding, I don't have to say anything about it. But my understanding is there is no need of it. And IQAC coordinator can never be a powerful person, because decisions will be ultimately done by the management or by the principal. They will only give the reports. They will prepare the reports for feedback, recommendations for feedback, but the action taken will be taken by the apex body only. So he cannot be a major player as such. So I don't know. They must have actually shown all those things. IQAC must be showing from all the departments.
It was happening like
that. Do that. IQAC should not do that. Departments will show their highlights or their achievements. IQAC cannot say that this is the IQAC's achievement. You cannot say this. Yeah.
Madam, please go ahead, Dr. Akhilesh.
Yeah, actually, I agree that NAAC coordinator, IQAC can be the same. But then if you have to separate already in place, one can concentrate on building the DVV type of data, and the other can concentrate on providing data from the AQR, coordination of AQR with SSR and RAR. That can be done by the IQAC coordinator, and then the NAAC coordinator can concentrate and keep asking whatever details, documents he needs for the DV. That kind of division will actually hasten the process.
Absolutely correct.
Peshwa sir is saying that we should have two separate entities, isn't it?
What he says is there is a division of labor, no? So he has been assigned with some other work. In most of the southern college where I visited, they have a complete data management system and a data analyst appointed for IQAC cell is a kind of IQAC block for them. Okay, and they have IQAC coordinator. You can keep, I told you that NAAC coordinator you can keep, and you can assign some other details. So that, yes, please. Yes, please.
Madam, Miss Mamta Garg, she wants to know, sometimes the institution is hired by some agencies for certain purposes. Can the amount received be included in 6.4.2?
I don't understand. Means institution receives
is hired by some other agencies, and they pay that institution the amount. Can that amount be included in 6.4.2?
Okay, that was the optional one I told you. Okay. There is no actually problem in showing it to your this thing, because any grant if you're getting, but it is, you see, resources, consultancy and resources, you can show that amount also. Means even not showing it here, because it is clearly for agencies they ask. Okay, the financial support from the agencies they ask from 6.2. They ask for the agencies, non-governmental agencies or philanthropists, those who are paying. It is actually a kind of, you are doing something and you are getting that amount. So it should not be given here. It should be given where you have this, perhaps in the fourth criterion you have that. So you can show it on the fourth criterion, not here. not here, because you are giving some service and you are getting money. So it is not a kind of a donation or a grant. Okay. So.
But here, I think, NAAC assumes as if everything is going to come in the form of cash or financial assistance. In these days, there is a modern trend, and sometimes this assistance comes in the form of material or like actual product or something like that. And then it becomes very difficult to reflect such assistance coming from.
So if that assistance you cannot reflect anywhere, so you can, because they have given philanthropers from private players and from non-governmental bodies. So if you don't have any area to focus to show that grants, you can show it here. Otherwise, you can opt it out because it is an optional one. If you don't have any grants, you can opt it out. And if you have some documents to show it, and if the DVV process, that SGE process, they get satisfied.
Sometimes it is in the form of equipment. I mean, they provide you the equipment itself.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. This thing assumes as if like everything comes in the form of cash.
Alumni sometimes.
The CSR.
Yes.
These big companies, whenever they give you some CSR money, these days they started doing the purchases themselves and they provide you the product.
Yes, absolutely correct. Yes. So you can show it here, but then you have to explain. I don't know whether they'll accept it because it is about the grants they talk about. They are not talking about this material. Okay. So I don't know. It can be shown here or in the consultancy or this thing. In the third criterion, they have about something about the grants, but nothing material contribution is nowhere it is given. You have to show it, or you can show it here, but then you have to explain, you have to contact them that in place of this cash, you have got things in kind. So if it is accepted, that kind of a grant, because these grants, they think that the grant should be utilized for the augmentation of infrastructure, college infrastructure, or some incentive for teachers or students. So that's why they say grants here. But it is up to you. It is not being clearly mentioned, and definitely you can take some other person's suggestion here, those who can clear those things. But I don't think these are some tricky questions which are to be addressed, because nothing is given about the material contribution. But even alumni used to give that material contribution quite often. But you have that area where you can show it to. Show in this alumni, that is the first criterion. Perhaps you have that 2-3 questions there you can show. Yes. So what you say, all these doubts are absolutely right, but you have to deal with thinking about your institution, and these grants, those are given in kind. You have to talk to or send the message to NAAC about it, because NAAC has never thought of this is a good idea. You can send a letter to NAAC asking that it is not only grant, we get certain things in kind. So where it is to be reflected, it is not being reflected, and we are not getting then weightage points here. So that can be done. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. So it's not me all the time. Even you are all experienced person, A-graded college. You can also tell and give your inputs also. Yeah. So it's not that all in all, I am all in all and I know everything. There are some participants who can also contribute and say they can come up and give their inputs. So
yeah, very informative.
Yeah.
Then a very informative.
Thank you. The little information I've shared, I tried to share it. Thank you. But yes, I also got certain things from you. So if I get input, definitely that adds up to my knowledge. And whatever the visits have actually given me experience, that I tried to explain. Actually, NAAC, we are not a part of NAAC. We are again external partners. Okay. So we cannot say anything on behalf of NAAC. That is to be understood. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Patil madam. I'm extremely sorry. I had to log off due to some technological issue at my end. In our area, there is frequent power cut.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Sorry for the inconvenience caused,
No
and thank you
problem.
very much.
Yes,
I couldn't conduct this question session, answer session, ma'am. I'm extremely sorry for that, and thank you so much, Naeem sir, for your invaluable help. Thank you so much for your brilliant and stupendous presentation. You have discussed all the key indicators and metrics of the 6th criterion in detail and gave us a new direction as well. I'm sure that all the participants out there must have gained a lot through your presentation, which will surely help in developing a new perception and approach towards NAAC. Thank you so much, ma'am. I once again extend my heartfelt and sincere thanks for your astounding and prodigious presentation, ma'am. We would love to hear you again in future as well. Thank you so much once again. I now invite the IQAC coordinator of our institution, Dr. Samir Naeem, to propose a formal vote of thanks. Dr. Samir Naeem, over to you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Words do not properly translate and represent the feelings we wish to convey. But sometimes words are the only medium available for us to express our thoughts and emotions. Proposing a vote of thanks is one of them. I am sure our honorable resource person will definitely understand the feeling of gratefulness embedded in the words that I am going to pronounce now. On behalf of the principals and the IQAC coordinators of the 7 colleges who have jointly organized this 8-day national level faculty development-cum-Orientation program, I express and extend my utmost gratitude to our resource person, Dr. Jyoti Patil. Thank you, madam, for accepting our invitation and for setting aside 2 hours of your precious time for us and for obliging us with your presence. Your lucid and articulate presentation has undoubtedly enriched and enhanced our knowledge and understanding of the topic. Our understanding of the 6th criterion has definitely improved than what it was prior to your presentation. We hope we shall get the benefit of your guidance, your words of wisdom, and your valuable inputs in future as well. Thank you once again, madam. I thank all the participants for their active participation and attentive listening and for asking important and pertinent questions. I thank our technical support team comprising Dr. Vinod Khedkar, Professor Apurva Pal, and Mr. Dheeraj Pandey for providing seamless and glitch-free technical support. With this, we have come to the end of the 6th day of this 8-day faculty development program. We shall meet again tomorrow at 11 a.m. for our penultimate day session. Till then, we take your leave. Have a good day. Thank you.